I mean, that makes sense. They're not bad team compositions because you have, of course, the Reinhardt with the shield, anti-dive in the flashbang. Because if this is a soldier instead of a McCree, you're a little bit weak, I think, to the hard dive comps. But right now, these are just pretty much the most balanced you could possibly get.
We're seeing just the Reinhardts lining up against each other. King Bappa is playing really aggressive, does take some damage, but look at that. Gets charged, stopped by the McCree, and then returns the charge back for the kill.
The return charge was huge. And Afterwatch tries to do a little bit. There we go. Headshot comes out. Only 0 left. And he's just going to be chased down pretty soon. So that was a pretty convincing first round for the 3 Musketeers. It looked like. From me, at least. Zero's just running away. Oh,
Zero's playing a game, trying to get something off here.
He's trying. It's pretty unlikely.
At this point, you're just going for annoyances. Play the mind game.
Yeah,
try to make sure that you at least piss him off.
Trying to inflict mental damage. Because so in 3v3, if you have more players and the time runs out, you still win. It's not a draw. There we go. So there was no way for Kind Deadly to take that, but you know, annoy the 3 Musketeers a little bit. Why not?
I mean, if you've got a sleep dart, you gotta use it. 3 people coming at you, gotta just kind of toy with them. Even in chat, they're turning back like really, and heart. Zero just gives them a heart back. Like,
yep.
Now look at this. Are we going to potentially see the Widowmaker? Widowmaker we didn't see in any of the last rounds, has the capabilities to be very, very strong on this map really early. The longer that it goes on and teams have the ability to start maneuvering around her, causes problems. But what we're seeing is a Diva and Pharmacy coming out. This could either be really great for Airwatch's Widow or absolutely horrible, depending on how these first couple of shots from Airwatch go.
Airwatch needs to avoid air shots really on this one because Fair Mercy does have the advantage in most cases against the Widowmaker. It's up to the Widowmaker to hit those early aggressive shots because once Farah starts bouncing you around, that's it, basically.
Well, Airwatch just needs to live up to his name, keep an eye on the air. Make sure the Pharmacy can't do anything. But this Pharmacy realizes the fact that the Widow is potentially dangerous for them, so has moved into an enclosed area.
But actually, Widowmaker and Zenyatta both solo killed the Diva, who went really aggressively. This is still not over. Fair Mercy. Just a couple of hits onto Zero, the Zenyatta player, and he'll be taken out. But needs to watch out for the Widowmaker. Boops him over to the left. Ooh, very close. Almost got the play with the second rocket. But here we go. Oh, the air battle. One more rocket. This is pretty close still. Airwatch needs to find a shot.
Notak is trying to get in, trying to eat up some of these rockets. Finally managed to get the face. The Mercy Res comes back off, and now Zero's blowing the Zenyatta Transcendence. Doesn't really use it for anything except for just positioning now. But that gets King Bappa back up.
Airwatch with a headshot takes out Primal. That's going to be key. Without Farah, this is pretty much all of the punching power for this lineup from the 3 Musketeers. We need another Mercy ultimate. She almost has it, actually. 70%, 80%. There could be another Mercy ultimate, but I don't know. She's in trouble. Peel comes out from King Bappa. But no, it's not going to be enough. G-Sec's Mercy goes down. And it's just a single Diva against the world. Shouldn't have
single Diva against the world, though. That's not the worst thing ever. Try to get something here. King Bappa's just deciding to run away at this point. Run! Try to get somebody. Just Diva versus Diva. That's not going to go strong. You have a healer.
Shouldn't have too much difficulty taking it out. Yep, there we go.
And alas, poor Diva, we knew you well. Put up a valiant fight there towards the end, but once we saw this healer start to go down at the get-go, it was just a matter of trying to reposition. So we are looking at a 1-1 now between these two teams. The Musketeers is definitely showing some strong play on one side, and I really like the name Kind Deadly. I don't know necessarily what it means or what the mean behind it is, but it's just like, hey, I'm going to politely kill you.
I'm surprised there's no A at the end. Like, kinda deadly. Yeah, we're
oh, that would be so good. That's it. That's going to be our 3v3. We just need to find another person to play with Skyline, and we're going to be kinda deadly.
Yeah, we'll be able to do a little bit of damage to you, but maybe not enough to close it out. This is a very different. We've never seen this composition before. We've never seen this before from 3 Musketeers. King Bappa on Orisa, coupled with a Zarya and a Soldier. No healer except for the Soldier has his little heal. This
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to try to go for just tank survivability, use the shields the best that they can, and then just lean into the soldier healing. That means that they're going to have to stay very grouped. But right now, Primal's nowhere near the rest of the tanks. Granted, nobody's really taking damage, but look, they're not really linked up.
Once the Orisa starts taking serious damage, like we'd actually already see if you look, King Bappa already has half health on Orisa. There's not enough healing to heal her up. Cheese Dex has shield, so he has no problem. He can just regenerate it. But King Bappa will be the issue here.
So a little bit of there's that synergy going off between the soldier and the Orisa right now. Soldier throws down her healing spot, and Orisa puts down the shield in a different location. So they're gonna have to playing around 2 different locations. I'm seeing a lot of damage actually start coming in on 3 Musketeers. They're having to try to reposition.
Yeah, they were 2 split up. A high ground soldier versus low ground soldier. Cheese Dex as well is isolated. Primal is not here to help him. He's running around the side. He's now all alone. He is healing up to 200. He does have Visor, so this, you know, he can get kills with this. If he can pop Visor, kill Airwatch, kill Zero. Let's see what he does. I think this might be a kill here. He might get the soldier. Yep, there we go. Just a Lucio left. Well, Lucio, and then of course the Roadhog.
The main boss, the final boss of this right now.
He needs to take out the minions first, though.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is Lucio the minion of the final boss? No. Roadhog finalizes it, says, no, I'm the final boss there. NoTech gets a nice pull coming off there across the side, instantly moves in. That was just really, really brave play, just hunting down, making sure that they take down Primal.
That was well done, just going straight in. Not dilly-dallying around, because the soldier, he could have closed that out, potentially. A couple of nice headshots on Lucio, take him out. There's no more healing, passive healing that is for the Roadhog. He just has to take a breather, which is not enough. The soldier can actually kill him through that. And yeah, you never know. The soldier could have potentially taken it in an alternate reality. But a nice hook from... I'm just going to shut that down. Cheese Dex is highlighting Symmetra. This is not going to be a real hero. It will be something else.
I don't know. I'm venturing to say it's probably going to be something else, but they've been sitting on it for a while now.
All right, it's the Symmetra. Let's see. I'm not going to analyze this because...
It's paper, rock, scissors to a degree, though. Symmetra's going to have a lot of trouble dealing with this pharmacy that's coming through. That said, the moment Winston comes in and you get a nice connection with her just energy beam right on his face, could be real solid.
Winston does beat Symmetra, though. Not in a 3v1, however. Jump out will be good. Saves the Winston for now. Primal is the healer right now for the 3 Musketeers, so they do have enough sustain to get back into it.
I really like the fact that 3 Musketeers is playing into this terrain right now, using the hallways to their advantage, trying to make sure that Pharmacy can't really get a lot of really good damage coming in on them. They know that they're protected inside here, so using the Symmetra turrets.
Alright, so Symmetra will make them pretty safe in this hallway, even though the Winston has really, really good matchup against the turrets. Whoa, Airwatch going crazy! Tries to go for the rocket barrage, but no, that's not gonna work. 3 Musketeers won't let him do that. Still though, right now there is Hook on cooldown. Hook misses as well. Oh, with the Mercy Resurrect though, they do get Airwatch back with a whole hog pushing everybody back. Let's see if the Winston can live. All right, he does.
Airwatch manages to get the kill onto Cheese Dex though, so we are looking at 3v2. King Bappa just takes a breather, tries to get some health back. We saw a really nice amount of damage come out from King Bappa onto Pharah earlier. That hook was real close. Good job by Airwatch, just trying to make sure to keep some maneuverability around.
Right now, King Bappa has to hook Zero out of the air and take out this Mercy player. If he can do that, I mean, oh, here we go. He might be able to take out the Pharah. Indeed. So, oh, Mercy as well needs to get away. All right, Mercy will have another resurrect though. Mercy will be able to resurrect Airwatch unless something severely bad happens, like a hook right here. Can he land it? Yes, he can. No, but he misses the left click.
Everything's coming down to this last couple of seconds. Zero's still at 80%, trying to get that last little bit of charge. NoTech's bouncing around, just trying to take damage at this point, trying to feed the charge, get the Mercy as close as he can. 99%, NoTech just manages to get ult, and Zero is sitting at 94. They are just running around, trying to slow as they can. There goes the res. Airwatch is back up.
He got it, but Winston just got his ultimate as well. Justice! Airwatch gets up and exacts sweet justice. The only person left remaining will just be this lonely Lucio. And wow, what a turnaround.
I feel bad for King Papa inside there. King Papa managed to get the hook onto the Mercy after he got caught onto the wall, but then couldn't finalize the kill. That was the turning point inside that. Overwatch getting a Widowmaker play in the game.
Let's watch this. Oh. So far hitting air. Oh, there we go. Bam. Yeah, very key hit there. That's
what led to the very long delayed, let's get a million reses off game there towards the end. It was 2 reses inside that game?
2, yes, 2. But at the end there, yeah, that fatal left click that Roadhog missed at the end. Remember, he got the hook onto Mercy, he missed the left click. It is unfortunate, but we will have a 1-0 we will have a series on our hands. That went to the 5th round, so these teams pretty close, despite having, like I said before, despite having the skill rating discrepancy. In 3v3, it is a bit more strategic, a bit more tactical. That can be compensated for.
Communication and synergy between your players becomes really, really important here. We were hitting on a second ago how whenever we saw that Soldier and Orisa comp, the way you would want that to function to be as effective as possible is to have the Orisa shield go down, then the healing station from the Soldier get dropped, and then you kind of group around it, let your tanks heal back up. But we kept seeing them getting dropped in different locations while they were trying to play around terrain and maneuver in, and they couldn't get use out of both of them at the same time, which just means that they were constantly taking damage that the shield couldn't protect or that the healing station couldn't heal through. You need to make sure that you really close in on that. Granted, it didn't end up being game-changing, but small synergistic issues like that, the longer you go into this event, will become really, really detrimental.
I agree. Having, just like we said, it's about the synergy, it's about the rotation, it's about having, especially coordination in 3v3. Because in 6v6, if, 66% of your team jumps in, you still have 4 people, right? That's okay. But in 3v3, you're missing, well, let's just say it this way. If one person in a 6v6 messes up, then you still have 5 people. That's not too bad. But if one person in a 3v3 messes up and doesn't get coordinated, then you're missing almost half your team. So it's pretty severe. But here we are. We're back in the game. We do have a dive composition. Leap in from Winston in the back. He was supplemented actually a little bit by the Genji. Winds up finishing off the Widowmaker by himself as well as the Zenyatta. And that's going to be it. So a quick round, actually. Very fast round for the 3 Musketeers.
Primal's Winston just absolutely zeroed in on Overwatch, jumped in, did not get off of that Widow until she was dead, and then at that point it was just a matter of figuring out the next targets that the rest of the team wanted to go for.
Well,
but that is that's a nice intro coming out from the 3 Musketeers this time around. Look, are we seeing the Symmetra comp again? The Roadhog, Symmetra, and Lucio? I guess they're going to charge off to one of these side rooms, trying to D up, make sure that the other team comes into them. It's kind of a variance on the stall comp, but you want to go in on it. Specifically, it's nice because you can play off of Primal's hook and try to get a kill inside of it. So the other stall comps that we see, which is like the one we were talking about, Mei, Orisa, and Torbjorn with some variant of healer may be tossed in, that has to play very, very stationary and can't really leave the starting zone. This one has the ability for you to kind of pick where you want the fights to happen at.
They certainly do prefer this composition. It didn't work out last time. Well, it should have worked out, but a little bit of error at the end actually gave it to Kind Deadly. We'll have to see now. They're not up against the Pharah this time, so they do have a better matchup as well. Primal looks for the hook, barely misses it. Overwatch goes away with his life.
King Papa is playing the Symmetra really, really aggro. Super low on life at this point. Does manage to get a little bit of healing down from the Lucio, but gets taken out inside the end of it. Roadhog is just absolutely, no tech is just going, looking for kills.
Oh,
Primal managed to get him back. Now look at this close range fight that we have going on right now.
Roadhog will separate this out a little bit, but because it's an open field, it won't be able to finish anyone off. Great boop by Zero we saw just there to save Overwatch and save this round. Overwatch has Visor. And, well, Visor's pretty good, but it'll probably be... Oh, no! Another hook by Primal. He's just getting them. So many of them. 3 of them so far this round, actually. And, oh, Lucio's actually going to drop the beat to save himself. Try to run around a little bit, but I think it's pretty much impossible for Lucio to 1v1 a Roadhog at any point.
well, we've seen this before. Remember when we saw him playing beforehand? Zero likes to go run around, be annoying after dying, again, try to get some frustration in, play it. Just play around to some degree. Look at they're chasing him down. They're trying so hard. Lucio versus Lucio Rodog.
Oh, there we go. So it's gonna end at the end, but that does kind of mess with you. It gets you a little bit out of sync when you've just spent 2 minutes chasing around this frog, and now you have to go back to playing a regular game. You know, it can be a bit difficult to come back from that. So it's technically a little bit of a mental game. Well,
3v3s has a big part of mind games inside of it, specifically when we're looking at comp selections, making sure that we haven't seen any sacrifice comps needs to come out of play right now. No. But I want to remind everybody, Kind Deadly actually did get the first best of 5, and right now we're seeing the 3 Musketeers have the advantage in a 2-0 at the directed time. So if they get this round, then we will be moving on to the next round of 3v3 that will decide it all. So right now is whenever Kind Deadly really needs to pull out whatever they've got. It looks like they're leaning into this Orisa, McCree, Mercy comp, trying to go for that survivability and the multiple reses coming out from Zero. The other side of that, King Bop is playing the Reinhardt, Primal's coming in with McCree, Cheesex rolling on the Ana.
So they are doing... We've seen this matchup before, and we have also seen that the Orisa composition does win the shield battle. Ooh, McCree from the side though, flashbang, double flashbang. So no kills coming out from that. But look at this. King Bappa, pretty close up. Almost got some hammer shots in. Also on the side, looks like the positioning right now is a little bit in favor of 3 Musketeers, but as I say that, Airwatch lands a shot on Primal, who stepped up a little bit too far to get flashbanged, and now it's a significant disadvantage right now coming in for Kind Deadly.
Zero's got caught out there for just a second. Reinhardt went in for the charge on him, instantly drops back down to no tech. This is a two-pronged fight right now.
Ooh.
See, Airwatch is going to run from his life. Look at these dances, like Fancy Feet coming out, manages to make it back over to the Mercy.
I can't believe he managed to get out. Cheesedex was, jumps to the shield. Didn't quite get Airwatch. Very close, though. I'm surprised it didn't get Airwatch. So it's now just Cheesedex up all alone. Nice halt. Will hold him in place. And Airwatch will finish it up. So, all right. Kind Deadly does get on the board. It is 2-1. This is still round point for 3 Musketeers. If 3 Musketeers takes this, it's 1-1 in the series. And we will have a final match. But Kind Deadly is still in it. They're still on the board. They have to win this one and the next one.
This is where it starts getting interesting. People are having to think about their hero pools, go, okay, what have we played? What haven't we played? What do we have the possibility of playing? How can we make a comp work inside of this? Primal's running the Soldier, King Bappa is playing the Orisa, and Cheesedex is playing the Mercy is what it's looking like. The other side, pretty full-on dive with Winston, Genji, and an Ana for support.
This is what I was talking about before. Remember, we have seen this composition run with a McCree on the side of 3 Musketeers, and that's to make it a little bit stronger against dive, because right now Airwatch and No Tech are going to come in, and they're just going to jump right past King Bappa's shield, King Bappa's Orisa shield, and tear into the Mercy or the Soldier. Either one, it'll be difficult, but they need to land their shots. There's a lot of healing between the Mercy and the Soldier bubble, so Airwatch needs to land those right clicks. And I mean, I don't think that No Jack will have a problem landing his left click, right? But we'll have to see how they decide to execute this.
I think that's exactly what it's going to come down to. How is this dive comp going to execute? No Jack actually misses the jump and gets taken down while he was in the air. Right as soon as he touches the ground, just instantly falls over. And that's the go command right now coming out for everybody on 3 Musketeers. They're now on the hunt, trying to make sure that they get control of this round, and we move into the next round with best of 5s. Tied up. Primal is just hunting down people. Airwatch is trying to find an approach. He's at 75%, but oh lord, like 4/5 of his life just disappeared.
Crucial mistake there at the end from No Tack on Winston. He missed. Maybe he was trying to go for the initiation, and then he realized that the Genji wasn't quite there yet. He tried to jump in and then jump back, and in that time, Primal was able to just kill him. Quite simple as that, with a little bit of assistance from King Bappa. The Mercy boosted Soldier is not something to underestimate.
Mercy boosted Orisa is actually fairly strong as well. We saw a couple of little damage ticks get thrown over that direction. Sure, that is projectile, and it's very interesting kind of damage to work with, but whenever you get into close range, Orisa can pump out a significant amount of damage, specifically just firing directed in, and that little bit of touches of extra damage boost here and there is real strong.
I think that, well, we have seen a lot of Pharahs. I mean, a lot of Mercies played without Pharah, and I still think that that's a very strong composition. But of course, Mercy does have combos with other heroes, so teams showing that off. We'll have to see, though. Well, I don't think we've seen Pharah Mercy lose today yet. It has a very high win rate compared to other 3v3 compositions.
Just the innate air control that you can have in the center of the map, playing around that center pillar, kind of negates your Mercy's weakness of just being on the floor and being extremely vulnerable. As long as you can play the Pharah properly and get that damage in, that's where the big factor comes in. If you don't have a strong projectile player, because remember, this is 3v3s, you don't have the full spread of 6. A lot of times you see DPS players specifically focus on being projectile players or being hit scan players. So if your team consists of predominant like hit scan player, you might just want to lean away from the Pharmacy. But I entirely agree. Pharmacy is really strong in this, and we haven't really seen it leaned into as strongly, specifically in this series, as I would have thought.
I agree. Well, we still have these teams that they're not necessarily 3v3 veterans. We haven't seen them in this tournament before. We have seen that the teams earlier that have played in earlier tournaments kind of developed their own meta. It was very obvious, the meta that they were developing. And these teams just aren't playing by the rules. They're not playing by the rules. They're playing by their own rules. So I'm interested to see when these newcomer teams match up against our old timers. We'll see we'll see whether this is a new meta or whether it's just teams that don't know the right meta. We'll have to see.
New blood can definitely invigorate a meta and cause reactions. A big part of this is also reacting to how the other team plays. So if you know that we've now gone through 2 best-of-5s, these 2 teams should be fairly familiar with how these comps play out. So you want to make sure that you kind of keep some extra things inside your pocket, some extra comps that you might not normally see. And speaking of comps we might not normally see, is that a Reaper entering the stage?
I don't know. Yep, there we go. So I was saying that Reaper is certainly an undesirable, as well as Symmetra. And the Musketeers, they just don't really care at all. They embrace them fully. So here we go, charge in with the Lucio. King Baba trying to do a little bit. Okay, doesn't quite find anything. There is I mean, if they're gonna play this Reaper against anyone, this is a pretty decent composition to play it against, to be fair. There's not many ways to punish the Reaper from range.
Specifically as well, working with the Lucio, providing a little bit of gap coverage, which is what Reaper absolutely needs. This team is kind of spreading out. Primal's going for a side flank, goes for the hook and actually misses it. Forces everybody on Kind Deadly to kind of turn that direction. King Bappa now has nice line of sight, goes for the charge, right on Reaper, but doesn't pin it, so taking a pretty decent amount of damage.
Well, here we go. Primal goes for the hook, gets the Ana. That's the hero they needed. Without the Ana, it'll be difficult. Oh, I was going to say, who does Tracer get? Tracer gets Tracer. So that
to be fair, though, that was a really nice play from King Bappa, using the Wraith form to come back in. What is this? We're just seeing a really tank-on-tank fight right now. Primal's trying to get in. He's naturally got the advantage. You can see Reinhardt was just trying to retreat and stay alive, but good job on Reinhardt deciding, hey, no, if I'm going to go down, I'm at least going to take somebody with me.
NoTac took down 2 with him. So impressive play at the end there, but I mean, it is at the end, too little, too late. And so the Roadhog was able to take him out, finish him off. This time we are seeing the McCree, Ana, Reinhardt composition we have seen in multiple different games. 3 Musketeers going up yet again. So we'll have to see if they can pull through. They do certainly have the momentum going into this. Air Watch will be taking to the air in this Pharah Mercy combo.
With D.Va, it's going to be very strong, highly maneuverable. The big problem with it is the fact that D.Va is not going to have the same level of maneuverability as the Pharmacy is going to have. It's going to have to make sure playing very safe. NoTech can't get too super aggro, because if it jumps in and see Air Watch and Zero get that damage and get those kills, NoTech could be left out high and dry. Flip side of this, we see a very strong, standard, slow-moving comp that's going to be coming out from 3 Musketeers. They're all staying together. They're just kind of death-balling it, using these different trains. Corners coming around. NoTech's pretty far forward right now. You can see that King Bappa really wants to go in on NoTech.
Oh, we're seeing, oh, she's X is a little bit low. One more rocket. Doesn't quite find it. Airwatch going very, very aggressive now. Not very scared of this McCree's bullets, and McCree's not really landing too much. Primal has the D.Va in the way, and Airwatch takes good advantage of that. Great teamwork, having the D.Va go in, block the main source of damage for the Three Musketeers, and letting Airwatch clean up. So this should be a pretty easy round, it looks like, for Kai and Deadly, and we'll be all tied up 1-1.
That was a very interesting way to try to play the Reinhardt at that comp. They ended up getting a little separated whenever they got really aggressive, though. It seemed like they wanted to go in, they wanted to try to take care of the D.Va, and then they got more and more separated out. And that comp needs to kind of function as a death ball. So really, really careful there. And full-on dive comp now coming out from the Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers running the Genji, Winston, Zenyatta. Let's see what sort of response we get. Oh, Lucio, Winston, and oh, they have to decide, I guess. Well, if they pick the Roadhog, that'll be very, very, very favorable in this particular situation. Let's see what Airwatch decides to go with. All right, it will be the Soldier. So this is a pretty balanced team. It's all going to be up to No-Tech, really. He needs to land hooks. If he doesn't land hooks, they will have a little bit of a difficult time playing against this dive. So we'll have to see if King Bappa can avoid it.
Kind Deadly does have some survivability. It's going inside of it. Skyline, do you have control to pause?
We have to... no, I'm not the admin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so somebody threw out a comment there for a second. We still have the fight that's going on, though. I think they're just going to play it through based off what they're saying. Look at this nice flank that's coming out. The only person alive is just Airwatch. Only person that's sitting here on practically no life now.
He has healing station for a little bit. I mean, the only thing he can do is really Helix Rocket himself and get dashed through, it looks like. So. Okay.
The reason why we were looking at that is there was a conversation about Airwatch thinking that he might have played Soldier already, and so there was a call to say if they were going to play through. That's why that was just kind of a sacrificed round there. They just decided to play it through. So no, Airwatch is saying, nope, I played Tracer. Oops, we accidentally sacrificed that. But so that's why it's important to track. There is an application that everybody is supposed to use, and they're supposed to kind of tick off as they go through, so that way they can make sure which ones they have and have not played.
Yes, we do. We do provide easy, convenient means to track which heroes you've picked. So having a little mix-up like that, well, it did cost them the round. So Three Musketeers, we have seen this exact scenario before. Three Musketeers now on match point, set point. Kind Deadly has one round. They're on the board. They need to show us 2 wins to take it, though. They're at a slight disadvantage. McCree, Orisa, Zenyatta. Once again, we have seen this before. It's all about positioning. All about Airwatch, really. Because he's their main damage. Zenyatta and Orisa is good supporting damage. But the McCree is going to be... Whoa. Wow, look how low they got.
Zero is like sitting on no life. They're having to back down, try to recover everything. Zero's did take a lot of actual health damage.
Yeah, that is
sure, the shields did regenerate, but that's a lot of permanent damage that's sitting on Zero right now, making him even more squishy than Zenyatta is.
Yep, normally Zenyatta has 200 health. Now he's 159 health hero, so it's just a couple shots away from this Soldier from being taken out. No-Tech shield goes down. Potential Helix Rocket will do tremendous damage if it lands from Primal. Zero is very low still.
Zero's doing a good job trying to play back. Anytime he gets low, instantly runs. He's having to play forward to play around this like line of sight that wall's providing out. Zero has to blow Transcendence just to keep himself alive right now, and No-Tech trying to find that position. And Deadeye is coming out from Airwalk on the side.
So that was
Everybody instantly retreats.
That was a bit lucky. Zero popped Transcendence just before Primal used Visor. And so if Primal had waited just one more second, he would be able to notice that Transcendence was used and wait for it. So unfortunately Visor was eaten right there. Still though, this is very even. All evened up, although Mercy has a Resurrect, and we've seen how powerful Mercy Res is in 3v3.
King Bappa does have ult. No-Tech's about to have ult as well. Primal's doing a pretty good job of building his. Airwatch just used his just a second ago. And look at that. That was a nice Helix Rocket coming up from Primal. Just kind of threading the needle.
Really definitely did there. Just barely hit behind the shield. 3 Musketeers looking like they're ready to take this match. Primal needs to find some shots. Well, okay, only 1 more minute remaining. Airwatch and Zero, they need to get a kill. And this might be it. Primal just barely in range, not in range of the flashbang. Airwatch misses those crucial shots that could have potentially equalized everything.
At this point, Cheese Dex is just playing really far back.
Oh, look how low King Bop is. Gets taken out. Airwatch. Very nice transcendence. Can they avoid the visor, though? There's the res. This is it. Airwatch, can he hit a couple good shots? No, it doesn't look like it. They're going to avoid the Deadeye. But from the side, Zero gets 1 more headshot, maybe? No, it's not going to be enough. And 3 Musketeers takes the set.
And that is the end of this best of 3 going in favor of 3 Musketeers. A lot of solid plays coming out inside of there. Specifically, saw a lot of interesting hero comps. I kind of feeling pretty good about what we've been seeing, this Mercy Orisa combination with some type of hit scan coming out. It's pretty strong. I know we were talking about how strong that Pharmacy is.